My name is Ricky Camilleri. She is the daughter of one of the biggest rock stars in rock and roll history, and you can hear her encyclopedic knowledge of the genre on Off the Cuff, her show on SiriusXM's The Spectrum channel. Everybody, please, warm welcome for Theodora Richards. Let's hear it.
Thank you so much, guys.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
You've had this show since August, right?
Yes, it has been, coming up for a year. It'll be in November, actually. It'll be coming up for a year.
What is it like to get to share all of your... Because you have, I mean, listen, I've listened to the show. You have just sort of a random encyclopedic knowledge of this period of time that your dad was a part of. And, does that come from being around it or hearing your dad talk about
Absolutely.
it, or also your own
I
obsession?
definitely was brought up in a very musical household where if it wasn't, dad playing the guitar or the piano around the house, he was playing Ray Charles. I say it was like classical in the morning, reggae in the afternoon, and rock and roll all night long. Like that was what I was brought up on. And I then, puberty hits and I got warmed into like NSYNC and Britney and Tupac.
Was your dad pissed about that?
There were times that there were heated arguments. Let's just say that. He's got, but everybody has their own flavor, and that's what's the power and the beauty of music,
But you have like an esoteric knowledge of the session musicians that were a part of a lot of the tracks that you're playing on there.
Yeah.
Is that something that, you found your own obsessions at some point?
I found definitely my own obsessions with, with what fed me, I am an avid Prince lover. I think we were just discussing that about my shoes. I love my purple for Prince. Dad's not necessarily the biggest fan. And he was actually booed off of the stage when they opened up Prince opened up for the Stones in the 80s.
Your dad, Keith Richards, doesn't like Prince?
But we actually had a really wonderful discussion about this because Warren Zevon did a cover of a Prince song called Raspberry Beret, and me and my dad loved Warren Zevon so much, and he thought that Warren Zevon wrote that song, and we were listening to the Genius record over and over, and I was like, Dad, you know what, actually, this was written by Prince, and he was like, wow, gotta give him credit, and I was like, it's like at the same time, he's not into synthesizers, and right. Dad's really all about the instruments and the craft that goes into playing them.
Keith Richards doesn't like Prince. I don't know. That might be. I gotta tell you, that might be a knockoff on The Godfather there for me. I love your dad.
But he's opening up. I think as the years go on, it used to be a little bit tougher. Like when Hanson came out, like that was an absolute no-no.
Fair enough. That's fine.
He was so not into bop. But
I don't judge for that.
No, but he's definitely he's getting
warmed up to.
He's warmed up. He's warmed up to Prince. Let's say not Hanson.
He's not. You don't go home and he's listening to Bop.
No, he's definitely not rocking Bop. No.
So how did this show come about?
This show came about actually, like the seed was planted a long time ago for me in the ways of that this is just the ultimate dream job. But it came about through I used to make mixtapes for my mother going into the city, and it would be like to kind of, just get her going back and forth from Connecticut to New York and something uplifting or something to get her through the traffic or the chaos of the day. And I would kind of I would play songs for her that she loved, like Frida Payne or Tina Turner, but then I'd also mix in some Lauryn Hill. And there was actually this beautiful moment where, when Killing Me Softly was, I think it was like 1996, 97.
Score.
Yeah, the score, when that came out. And that was all over the radio. And I just remember thinking that was the original. And I didn't know, I think it's Roberta Flack who sings the original. Yeah. And my mom was like, I remember her sobbing, driving and I was like, what? And she's like, this song moves me, and I can't believe it moves you. And we had this beautiful, generational gap moment where she was able to teach me something about what that beautiful song, just renditions, and we're all inspired. I think that's also what's so beautiful about music, is that you can start with one artist and what that one artist, what fed them or what they listened to or what their parents were playing for them.
That's got to be
what starts it all.
Such a strange thing of growing up in a household like yours is when you find your own musical tastes or interests that date back to, maybe your dad didn't play you certain bands or something, but you find them and then you're listening to them.
Friends, absolutely.
And your dad is suddenly like, oh, that's Charlie. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, we used to play he opened for us in '72 or something like that.
Or I opened oh my gosh. I mean, with Dad, when that comes down to, because I have such a love for the Everly Brothers, when he talks about that he was opening for them, that hits me hard. But new artists with, and yeah, I'm trying to think about who was a really great musical opener. Gary Clark Jr. My God, this guy is he's fantastic, and he's feeding, he did that beautiful Chuck Berry thing during the Grammys that I just was completely enamored by, watching Chuck Berry's son, like, doing the words. That one was a heart piercer right there.
What was it like growing up? This is a broad question. The daughter of a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, it's
Normal to you. I mean, it's so weird to ask that.
It's
'cause
all
like,
I've
I don't
ever
know.
known.
What do I know?
It's
Yeah.
all I've ever known, but it's been wonderful. I am really blessed. I have a wonderful family and a great support system. We are in constant communication. I go up to Weston when mom and dad are there, and where I was brought up, relatively almost every weekend, and it's also what kind of makes me survive in New York a little bit, because this city is on all the time. My God, it is electric.
Oh, no, the secret to living in New York is knowing how to get out of it.
Is knowing when to escape so that you can come out, but there's always a constant appreciation. I appreciate this city for something small every day. It's a constant, like, Alice in Wonderland situation. You don't know which rabbit hole you're going to go down.
Are people often shocked when you talk to them about your family and you kind of explain that you have a fairly normal family?
Yeah,
like
I
a
guess,
good family?
like Uber rides, like when you get into conversations with people, or like...
You're like, that must have been crazy.
Yeah,
You're
it's like,
no,
so,
he was-
yeah, or like, where did you turn 10? I was in Tokyo. I turned 10 in Tokyo. I turned 18 in Tokyo with the Stones. I mean, I have been so blessed. My God, the Stones, being able to travel with them, it's insanity, Like, my horizons were broadened at a very young age, being able to see the culture, different lives, different kids, different languages, the love of music from all parts of this world, and yeah.
Did you always like your dad's music growing up, or did you ever
Always.
have always? You
I was
never
a
had
born
moment of
daddy's girl,
rebellion?
and I was a born rock and roller. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's just,
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite Rolling Stone song?
it changes all the time.
Right
I think
now?
right now is Doo Doo Heartbreaker. Love that one.
I go 2000 Man.
I
love
love you.
2000.
Satanic Majesty.
Yes.
So funny.
I'm a very big
That's one of Dad's not so favorite records.
I
But
know,
think
but-
it's pretty fantastic.
And I love 2000 Man because the drum beat is like slightly off on that song, and that's such a beautiful.
I'm gonna have to ask you what your playlist is, what you like to listen to. Are you all over the place?
all over. I'm wearing a Cocteau Twin shirt right now, so I'm pretty much all over the place.
All right, nice. I think it's really nice to, not just stick to one particular genre.
I was listening to Brahms on the way in here.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I was
of course.
listening to Tupac and Beyonce. I love.
What Tupac?
It changes.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I know. I was
I often
listening to
listen-
Sirius on the way over here, so that was awesome. So I'm like plugged in Sirius.
Yeah, when is the show on? When can people?
It's
tune
last
into the
Sundays of
show?
every month. It is monthly right now. We're like maybe weekly, but that's going to change up the whole game. Like this way I get a lot more research done, and I can kind of like really invest myself into my guest. But I know once it goes weekly, you're really like, you got to struggle. You got to find the next person. You got to keep, and who's the next guest going to be? I just feel like that's going to be the next step. So we'll see. Scott.
Your first episode that I listened to was with Sean Lennon,
Yes.
right? Isn't that
Yeah,
that's
he's
Sean right
he's
there?
a
Yeah.
good friend of mine.
And it was so much fun to listen to because both of you have this great knowledge about these songs that you were presenting. And Sean was telling this great story about Pete Drake and Peter Frampton getting like where he first got the sort of mouth.
Where the mouth, exactly,
move
exactly,
thing.
being able to do that. And Nelson Riddle, I mean, he has some musical knowledge that is just, it's insane. He is definitely a bit of a genius when it comes to these, and he can like put any harmony to anything and play almost every instrument. It's insane, except the horns. I don't think he can do the horns.
Have you ever tried to play musical instruments?
I can do a little bit of piano, but I love to sing. I think I can sing. So, but I very, very rarely will sing for other people unless there's a few drinks, like that's happened before. Yeah.
Has your dad ever tried to put you on some tracks? Are you on
Yeah,
some
actually,
tracks?
me and Dad did a cover of Rosie and the Originals, "Angel Baby," this Christmas, and maybe maybe that'll go out there at one point. But me and Dad do try to sing together. Yeah, it's nice. It's fun.
Does he sing and play around the house a
All
lot
the
with you?
time.
Wow,
Yeah.
that must be the most amazing.
It's awesome because, when he is, well, that's just any musician. If they feel like, that's what I also get. It's, you can't not love a musician for that they, all of a sudden they get this itch, and then Dad's run into the piano or he's run into the guitar to like, because he's got something in his head and he's got to get it out. And you're watching, and then you watch these songs. Sometimes I would hear something for years, and then I hear it be turned into a full-blown record.
Yeah, that's so interesting because I remember hearing an interview with him one time where he was talking about where the riff came from for, I was either like, Brown Sugar or Start Me Up, and it was like he was falling asleep.
Yeah, it was in
and
his sleep.
popped in his
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
He woke
he
up
fell
and
asleep.
went and
Yeah, I
did
woke up and the thing was recorded. Yeah, I think it was for Start Me Up.
Yeah. I
The
forget
riff.
riffs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry. I'm a Rolling Stone daughter, and I still don't know every lyric to every song. They got a lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of amazing riffs.
A lot of amazing riffs, a lot of amazing lyrics. Oh my gosh, it's pretty. Yeah, I also love Lady Jane.
Oh, yeah.
It goes on and on. She's a rainbow. I mean, they are legendary. These men, yeah, and they're going back on tour.
They went back on tour?
They're going back on tour.
How do they do that?
They got it in their bones. Those boys. I don't know what was in the water in 1943 in London, but.
And your dad likes touring? He loves touring?
He loves touring, yeah. He loves being on stage. He loves playing, He's like, I can't believe that this is the job I get to do. I love what I'm...
How old is your dad right now?
He is 74.
74?
Yeah.
And he loves going on tour?
He loves going on tour. Yeah,
And
he loves playing. And he is, he's still rock and roll, all the way through.
That's amazing. Yeah. Are you inspired by that when you see him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think there should, I used to get so protective as a kid, hearing, they were called old when they were 40. They were called old, it's now, they're in their 70s, and they're rocking, they're kicking butt. I mean, I have to sit down halfway through their sets. They do a 2.5 hour show, and I'm sitting down. Those guys are up there just relentless.
It's amazing that they've been able to play together for so long, too.
Yeah, keeping a band together, Dad says that, it's really hard,
How did that, do you know how they were able to do it? Like, what was it about?
They're just the masters that they are, those Stones, I think that it's ultimately it's a huge family connection. That's exactly what it...
Are members of the band like your godfather, right? Like
Ronnie Wood is my godfather,
Wood
yes.
is,
I was like, in case anything ever happened to my parents, God forbid, I'd go and live with Ronnie. I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun.
And do you see any members of the band outside of when they tour?
All the time. Lizzie Jagger was just here with me last week, and I got to hang out with her.
They are family.
Yeah, they are family. I mean, they're my other brothers and sisters. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get some questions from our audience. Who has a question? Right here. Who?
Hey.
Hi. My question is, you mentioned a lot of other artists that you really like. So I was wondering, is there an artist or a song that you like that people would be surprised to know?
Oh, gosh. Okay. So I guess because, my dad wouldn't be able to listen to Deanne Ward. I love that whole album, Mountain Ninja, and I think it's Candy Cane, but Banana Brain. I don't know. I can go into some heavy techno and drum and bass kind of stuff. That I guess that could be
Aphex Twin yesterday.
Aphex Twin. Oh my God, Massive Attack. Yeah. And Faithless, Insomnia, one of my favorites. Such a good track. But I guess not surprisingly, but I also love, the what could I say? That would mix that. Dinah Washington, I can go that quickly and I can mix up those things. I could put that on a mixtape for you and really throw you out of the loop, or maybe you like it. And then I'll also throw a Disney track on top of that. Love the Aristocats, there's a lot going on up there.
Next question.
Hi.
Right there.
Hello.
So you seem to know a lot about what goes on behind the scenes with music, whether it's with your father or other people that you spoke with. Do you feel like you learn, you continue learning about what goes behind the sounds of music?
That's a lovely question, and yes, that's exactly what I hope to continue always doing through music. Is that you're constantly learning. When you think that you know everything, that's when you know nothing. With music, there's something new all the time, and you can find these hidden, beautiful gems underneath that you feel. I'm just always learning through music. I love that. Thank you very much for asking the question, because yes, that's exactly what music is for me. I'm constantly learning.
Right here.
Hello.
Hi, beautiful.
You mentioned Tupac earlier, so I want to know, since you've traveled a lot, have you ever met him? And if you could interview him, what would you ask him?
Oh, whoa, that is.
I'm messing with I got him tatted on my finger.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
See, gosh, man, where did that poetry come from? You know, I watched Juice. I mean, that kid, man, he had it in him from the moment he was born. I just, what would you, like, and I just love to look at those beautiful eyelashes. Man, I wish, no, I did not get to meet that man. No. Rest in peace, Tupac.
Next question, right here.
Hi, this question's from
Hey,
an
sweetheart.
online viewer.
Oh, okay.
Michelle would like to know, do you think Off the Cuff will work well as a TV show?
Oh my God. I wonder, you know, we're hoping that maybe that could be the next step for it, but I kind of started off with radio because I'm really not that great with cameras, where this is gonna be.
You're doing okay.
Am I? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but we're hoping. You know, so we'll see what happens. If it could continue with, going on screen, let's try it out. I'll get
Don't
more
you miss the
comfortable.
day of the MTV VJ or the
I
VH1
I really
do. Yeah.
I do. You know, TRL was a huge part of my teenage existence as well. I remember my friend in school got to go on her birthday, and I watched her go up there, and Carson Daly, the whole thing, and music videos. You really have to go and hunt them down these days. You know, I would turn on MTV and I just watch a lot of Catfish and ridiculousness.
Like, I used to watch 120 minutes. I used to record 120 minutes, the MTV late night show that was all like alternative rock and stuff all the time. And that was just like a great thing. You had one VJ show up after 5 videos, have maybe a quick interview, and then go into the other videos. It was like, it was great. And they don't have anything like that.
Yeah,
right
no, I
now.
miss it. I do. I miss it. I think we're moving at such a fast pace with technology these days. It's kind of overwhelming. So for me to say that I'm on the radio, I feel kind of old school, and I love it.
Theodora, it's wonderful to talk to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
The show is on SiriusXM's The Spectrum
SiriusXM,
channel,
The
right?
Spectrum, channel 28, last Sunday of every month, and it plays again on Mondays at 2 and Wednesdays at 11 p.m.
There it is. Theodora Richards, everybody. Let's hear it.
Woohoo! Thank you.